Many experts are saying that the recent floods in KZN are the result of climate change. Globally, shifts in weather patterns are very clear to see. Now, our Environmental Department has now published the new climate change bill for public comment, and I imagine there's going to be a lot of comments about this. It places legal obligations on the state and sets green targets for the country. Let's get details from Minister Barbara Creecy. Minister Creecy, good morning to you. Thanks so much for your time. So it's now open for public comment. Off the back of what we've seen in KZN, though, what would this hope to achieve?
Good morning, Gareth, and greetings to all your viewers. Well, I think that up until now, we have really been working with all levels of government and also civil society on a voluntary basis to try and implement mitigation and adaptation strategies for climate change. What the bill will do is it will enshrine a regulatory obligation on all of us to comply with carbon gas emission targets, but also on different levels of government to have climate resilience strategies and to integrate those strategies into the planning and, most importantly, the budgeting processes of those different levels of government.
Yeah, it's the budgeting process, Minister, which I was about to pick up on now, and I'm glad you brought it up as well, because there are arguments made that if we had a climate change act that was already in place as far as a focus on budget is concerned, better planning could have been in place, and we could have seen, would have, should have, hindsight 2020, I understand all that, we could have at least seen somewhat less damage in KZN. And we can't stop climate change overnight, but we could have prepared better for it.
Well, I think that building climate resilience is going to be a long-term process. Obviously, what we can see from the extensive damage that has taken place, there will not only have to be reconsideration of where we allow human settlement, but there will also have to be significant climate proofing of infrastructure, ports, railway lines, and so on. And in a developing country such as ours, where there are many competing priorities for budgets, we understand that this is going to be a complex and difficult process.
Without a doubt as well, and one could even argue, Minister, as well, can't you, off the back of the numbers that we're now seeing as far as the financial damage to this, upwards of 17 billion rand, that could be even more by the time we get the total bill as well, because I'm not sure, Minister, tell me if you agree or not, when it comes to environmental issues and climate change, I think everyone knows it's a problem, but there seems to be a lack of urgency. It's only when it hurts the budget, the fiscus, when it hurts our bottom pockets, our bottom lines, that we really start paying attention. Environmental change does affect our money in this country, doesn't it?
Absolutely, and I think, you know, I was saying earlier this morning that in the 3 years I have been in this position, I have seen a considerable shift. When I was first appointed, I felt like I belonged to some kind of rare sect when I tried to explain what the implications of climate change will be. But now I think everybody understands, because we've been living through extreme weather events, we're living through drought, we're living through these storms. And so the level of societal consciousness about these issues has increased. And so we're all starting to say this thing is real. It's got to be considered not just in a nice document that we keep in a drawer, but it's got to be integrated into our operational plans, both in the private sector and in government.
Minister Creecy, before I say goodbye to you, final question. What's the urgency behind this? I'm sure there's the urgency from your department, which should have, which I'm sure would have been the urgency of 2 weeks ago. What's the urgency that you're getting from the other departments of government to do what you're trying to do?
Well, I think already the President has given guidance that when we build back after this disaster, we cannot repeat the mistakes. And I think already human settlements, water and sanitation are saying that you can't be placing people within the 100-year flood zone. So I am very convinced that as we recover from this disaster, we also have to start to implement long-term plans that will make cities and human settlements much more climate resilient.
Minister Creecy, I'm going to say thanks very much for your time. Open for public comment now from the Department of Environment, Forestry and Fisheries, Minister Barbara Creecy. So this new bill is out for public comment. You can go and have your say on that. And if ever you've had your say, if the last 3 weeks is not an eye-opener for all of us, then I don't know what is. So please go and comment on that while it is still open for public comment. 24